Awuja mo akwa from like Black Media. Awuja me no kasa sisi obe kai say eye na no ntem ne ECG containers ya twe ho mena twe wi achi krampo no ye be hu se container ye ne nkofo bi ye container wataban ne awuja container be kan ho sam say ECG containers ayira nam so krampo ma aye dum so na ekoso current president John Dramani Mahama memumu na MPP fo ni bi ade ye propaganda NDC fo ni bi nso eni ewu awo ho no abusia ensem bi anam fremamu a eba se container no abusia womo a omayi container no mu niema at the end of the day empty containers no ko sisi baabi a omko huniye no abusia edin bi apia ene yesi afiri obi eye Habib won eye minority whip ana afin so no Annor Dompre okonsa wama do agira won eye MP ho ono so ye minority whip ana abusia oba behwe obi ti sa afenwoma akense ono so din e de apia yesi ukokopiem ewo eye ensewemu ho no ma light post ahodo bebre egu ho wires bebre egu ho no ma ni nyina ye ECG for ene ma abusia enkomo na ye kwa akotie no di adanse ye pefe ene sene ye audio no ni video ni si bi kire no kire se containers na eyira ye no eye Annor Dompre na Habib na afenso so afenwoma akense enim hu bia mene wo kasa sisi sanse wie na eto abontene betimi anam so ama eye NDC for a wo mayi ora team na obi etese Martin Kwebu ewo ora team na afenso so obi etese DCOP Kofi Boachen so ewo mu no wo mu betimi asori ade akwa Kofi we say achiwo mu because of eye evidence ya ewo audio ni mu abuja kameho ene nkonkotie meni nyina so ba nipa na oka no Kevin Taylor ono ena di evidence bi ba me person kameho kokwaje nchiremu no free no wo besisi ye abuja baby a wo hwe me bia wo haw ne amane kodan na bia da eda wo so bia no bomode se oni me bedi nkomo ye de samna nwanwaso bi aba ye frene se eye sika kokko na gold samna wo haw bia da eda wo so bia wo hia sa samna we se bi afi wo ye bema wo hwe me wo bema sam wo pom bema ye ketwa brabeji bula matali eduro bi na wo bema enye kese watimi abo adwuma so ache ewo empem ye de akwankyere bi aba abuja no ye hwehwe wo hyebrem a ye frene se mpelifo akwankyere ana se wo betimi afrene back to sender onipa bi ha onipa bi tata wato bet ewo ho se wo sanity bi obeku bomode so be fa numbers na egu screen ase na woni mi akasa mehwehwe wo hyebre mu hwia na bomode se me kire wo ne obeye.
Do you know these three people who are leading the MPP today in Ghana, the minority, all these three people were on the board of ECG? Yeah. Crime now mu ni nyina wo ECG. From the board now amu take that decision na mu hwia mu cables, mo lights, mo bibiano. These three people who are leading the MPP today in parliament, all these three people were on the board of ECG. Time issue when you na AC no, Annor Dompre was on the board, Afenwoma was on the board, and Habib Idrisu, the minority chief whip, he was also on the board. It is a minority in parliament. If they have refused to speak on this ECG matter, then it means they are front. They know the three of them, they can all end up in jail. Now let's go back and show how they did the plan and why they are quiet. These are dangerous people. You never listen to MPP or anybody speaking for MPP, because you see, party, it's a disease. Now let's go back. You're starting free. You see, in 2022, Napo was the energy minister. Make sure be a plan free. In 2022, Napo was the energy minister. The deputy energy minister na Ejapa Mesa. And the second deputy, near friend Williams Owusu Edu. Now, when you go to ECG board, Tamana Napo energy minister na, it was Kelly Gajepo. The MD of ECG was Dubik Mahama. And then Annor Dompre was a board member of ECG in 2022. Did you know? Yeah. Annor Dompre today is the minority leader, deputy minority leader in parliament for the MPP. He is deputy to Afenwoma. So in 2022, adekudie ntia won te say Annor Dompre ka ECG no nsem omonye press conference. The front of the NPP, they have moved away from that conversation is because they were the ones who orchestrated the crime. In 2022 no, now Annor Dompre was sitting on the board of ECG. All the decisions that were being taken, Annor Dompre was part of it. If you do not think say NPP after quickly coming out to tell you say, oh, you know, Ghanaians, let us all solve the ECG problem as a nationalistic thing. They are the ones who did the damage. They are the ones who connived and teamed up our ECG boss and ECG to destroy a ECG. Intusha Napo Energy Minister 2022, Ejapamesa Deputy Energy Minister, and Mr. Edu second deputy. Now ba ECG boss na Keligajepo, na yawo Dubik Mahama as the MD of ECG and Annor Dompre. Now here. Now when you come to 2023, something happened. In 2023, changes were made. Remember, this is the same group. And the Omokacho said Dumusaba Monso Kaniano, Mamen Chamo. Sa video na buko uno eye in Sawadu Ejino. Sa nyomani nyina Annor Dompre dia. He stole it from ECG. Because he was on the board of ECG. Yeah. 2023. In the year 2023, Nanapo and a energy minister. And omu change Ejapamesa. And omude obi a friend Herbert Krapper ebe share as deputy. Remember 2022 Ejapamesa was the deputy to Napo. Omuba 2023 no and omu change Ejapamesa and omude Krapper ebe share and they maintain the second deputy minister Edu as energy ministry. In Napo state they changed Ejapamesa and omude Krapper Herbert Krapper ebe share and omu maintain second deputy energy minister. Now, over ECG in 2023, did anything happen? In 2023, Keligajepo was still there. Herbert Dubik Mahama was still there as the MD. Annor Dompre in 2023 was still a member of the ECG board. Or a criminal guy. And it just only say ECG as some Wakebi. That is why they have moved. That is why they don't want that conversation to go on. That is why today you don't see them having press conferences to be demanding ECG containers na irano because posts ni cables na irano a women fire. And you see, it's so interesting. Say it is the leadership of the minority today. They were the people who were sitting on the board of ECG. Now, when Ejapa was taken out, Ayade Herbert Krapper. Something also happened in 2024. In 2024, Herbert Krapper, he was acting as the board chair. March 2024, Herbert Krapper na obey deputy to Napono. He became the acting board chair of ECG. The same time now, Oya deputy to Napono, he became the acting board chair of ECG. If we say that Keligajepo in March 2024 had resigned, they brought Herbert Krapper from the ministry to be the acting board chair of ECG board. In 2024 March, now Annor Dompre was still on the board of ECG. Now Dubik Mahama was still in post, was still at post because March 2024, now Dubik Mahama resigning here. Now why not resigning? Keligajepo. Into Omo Movie Krapper, who was the deputy energy minister, they made him the acting board chair of ECG. It is our changes now, Bano, Krapper or top, la Krapper down. He was acting as board chair and also the deputy minister in 2024 March. Krapper be board chair acting when Keligajepo resigned as the board chair of ECG. It is still Annor Dompre is constant from 2022, 2023, 2024. Annor Dompre was on the board of ECG. Into all the decisions that were being taken, Annor Dompre was sitting in there. Napo was in there. Dubik Mahama was in there. Now Krapa abe some substitution be which is not permanent. Now Ekufuado would need a board chair for ECG because Kelly Gajapo has resigned. Krapa is a deputy energy minister. He's acting as the board chair of ECG. In the MPP4 had to make some changes because they needed their cartels still to control ECG. So what did they do? This was in March 2024. Satan and Napo and MBF running mate to Edian Abozege. Napo was still the substantive energy minister. Don't get it wrong. March Nanapo da who is substantive energy minister. Now this is what happened. Make sure we be a problem ni free. And into the MPP, they are not speaking about the ECG issue, no, because all front are criminals. They will all go to jail. Investigations are still ongoing. That is why they are mute. Now, I'm sure there. Now, in November, you see, in November 2024, Satana Napo Eko running mate Amabaumia into Napo left as the energy minister. Now, what they did was that they brought Krapa back to become the substantive energy minister. And the second deputy minister, the deputy. Now, when it comes to the ECG boss, they moved Afenyomakin to become the ECG board chair. And then this man called Kobna Ajiman Bedu, ECG MD, because November, not Dubik Mahama so resigning. Kaligajapo echo March. Dubik Mahama so echo close to elections, September thereabout. They needed a new MD for ECG. Omdi Afenyomakin Ebesheho as the board chair of ECG. They brought another person to replace Dubik Mahama. And what happens? They brought the deputy chief whip. Time na omo parliament, omo power no. Na acquire friend Habib Idrisu. Not or your majority chief whip. Not or your third to Afenyomakin. They brought that guy to be on the board of ECG. Technically, Annor Dompre has been on ECG board for about 3 years. Now, you're changing Kelly Gajapo resigning. Krapa Ako as a substantive minister because Napoko running mate. And you're the Afenyomakin Abeshaw. Now you ask, say, why na shame fino? Dubik Mahama Soko into the wine about Kwabna. Now, Kwamina. Now, baby a trick in all. The reason why you are not seeing Annor Dompre here and say, Afenyomakin was the board chair of the road fund. Now what they did was that they moved Annor Dompre from the ECG board to go and take over at the road fund, and they brought Afenyomakin from the road fund to be the board chair of ECG. Now you see the trick. So Annor Dompre for about 3 years has been on the board of ECG. Now they still needed their kingpin in the front, one of them to come and handle ECG board. They had to take Annor Dompre to substitute Afenyomakin from the road fund board for Afenyomakin to come here as a substantive board chair of ECG. Annor Dompre left around November 20. He left before the elections to go ahead the road fund. Habib Abeshaw. Follow what they did. It was a simple chess they were playing with you. The NPP, as we speak today, now let me show you this. Obi Obaka say, there are some people who have doubts about these people. Now you see, Annor Dompre joins ECG board July 30th, 2021. And I almost swear Annor Dompre in as a board member of ECG. Ntebia, Ojin sa sama ye kano, ye kan dia hye Annor Dompre kon. No. Sa post na mu na adwejire no. Annor Dompre dia. Or a lot of them, Kennedy Muobi, Afenyomaki Muobi, they have stolen everything from the container. Say, Oko back to look at what actually happened now. Sir Habib any Afenyomaki, they all came into the ECG or joined the ECG board in July 2024. Sanko Fomi and Sawe are only the MPP or parliament, no, they are the ones who destroyed ECG. These 3 criminals. It's ECG problem now. Yeka na nkofobia dina. MPP form person mekasa oma dino. It is Habib, who is the minority chief whip. Afenyomakin, who is also the minority whip, and then Annor Dompre, who is also the minority chief whip. Onne Afenyomakin, who is now the minority leader. These 3 people are the ones that the ECG cause problem. Do you know, say, Fremont Paris? Fremont Paria or NPP chief of staff, Ekufuor the chief of staff for 8 years. No? Do you know, say, na frema operate ne baba, and so that ECG board. So do you know? Yeah. Frema Opare's daughter was on the ECG board. These people were all on the ECG board. Into the damage they did, you know, problem we have. And it's the IMF for say accountability is important. Frema Opare ne baba ni. Let me show you. You see, that is Frema Opare's daughter. On the general, on the share red, you know. Frema Opare ne baba no. She was on the board of ECG. 80 they deliberately stole from you people. These are criminals. Do not sit in Ghana and blame John Mahama. John Mahama ni ndisi ba powder bang. Frema Opare Baba was on the board of ECG. Also, these are people who stole from you, and they, as we speak, no, Oma Kotete. Now watch this. What? Listen to this.
Regulatory Commission to increase tariffs for water and electricity, insisting it is needed to improve the fiscal situation. More in this report.
2-week assessment of Ghana's program. The IMF said fiscal slippages in the run-up to the 2024 elections led to large accumulation of payables and also reforms which were also being delayed. But the IMF, in this particular joint meeting, indicated that the new authorities have taken bold steps to address some of these slippages, which include a hike of electricity and also water tariff.
As the government adjusts utility prices between on the one side the importance of those adjustments to strengthen the SOEs in the sector and make sure that public finances as overall are sustainable, and on the other side the implication that it has especially for the most vulnerable. And I think when we discuss with the authorities, we very much focus on these two aspects. So think about the electricity price increase that PORC has announced recently. On one side, it is very necessary to strengthen the position of ECG so that ECG in turn is able to pay its bills to the power producers, and that in turn you as Ghanaians continue to have access to electricity.
ECG were not paying the IPPs, so we were making losses. And then IMF no catch them no. And who were the people handling ECG? These were the people in charge of ECG. These three people today leading MPP in Parliament. They are the culprits. Containers and when Parliament resumes, and say, Mr. Speaker, we don't agree. These are piglets. Do you know?